down with PCP?
Yeah, you know me. Yeah, you know me.
Down with PCP?
Yeah, you know me. Yeah, you know me.
Down with PCP?
Yeah, you know me. Yeah, you know me.
Down with PCP?
Yeah, you know me.
What is up, guys?
What is?
Hey, I'll get it done.
Oh no!
PJ, come on, PJ, let's see it.
No! I can't do it.
I love it.
Brilliant.
We have a fellow dancer on board. Finally,
Down
Man.
straight.
let's just go a little bit more with that. Come on, let me hit play again correctly.
People in the chat, I'm going to need some help. Y'all gonna have to help me out today.
Guys, before we get started, I'm kind of excited to announce that we have, I don't know if I want to call it a sponsor or an affiliate, but we are working with BetUS now, and I have a little plug here for them. BetUS, get 125% bonus with the link below. If you copy that link below, I also have it in the description on the channel, as well as the description of this show. If you copy that link, put it in your address, it'll take you right to where you can get a 125% bonus. So you put $100 in, you get 125 from them, and it'll help the channel. So thank you to BetUS, wherever the games begin. So guys, we're down Foster and Walt right now, but we have JasonUKBears joining us tonight from across the pond.
Welcome.
This is awesome. Thank you for joining us, Jason.
Hey, thanks for having me on. It's crazy. Yeah, can't believe I'm here chatting to you guys now, as opposed to typing, usually on my phone really badly.
Yeah, it's great to talk to you in person and see you in person and hear your voice, you know? That's the cool thing about this.
That's it. You'll now read my comments next time in this accent, won't you? That's what will happen.
Yeah. And your accent is quite different than Chris Watt's accent.
Yeah. He's a northern monkey. I'm down in the south. Yeah. So, hello, Doug. Excellent. Like it.
So you guys are...
Go. Sorry, it's just I'm trying to join the chat, but I think it says got to link my account. I'm not going to start messing with the computer now, so I'll just
Smart man.
Yeah.
Smart man.
What were you saying there? Somebody
Just
said
if I want to join the chat, I've got to link my YouTube account. So yeah, I'm not going to touch that. I don't want to mess it up.
Oh yeah. If you wanted to actually talk in chat, yeah, you under Jason UK, yeah, you'd have to open up a new browser, go to the channel where it's live right now. Yeah, you can just talk. Yeah,
I've got a night off of the typing. Yeah.
Guys in chat, thanks for joining us. Doug Van Doren saying hi to you guys.
Yes.
Cliff Victoria saying, "What's up, Jason?"
Hello.
It's good to see you guys. Looks like Destroyer 1320 is a little down tonight. God, please help us.
Yeah.
And it's been I took basically a week off because we were in New Orleans, and it's great to be back. I missed you guys. I missed doing this. I was like, damn, I wanted to jump on with you guys on Sunday or one of the nights you were going to do something. And I was like, I'm back at the camper if you want to do a show tonight, guys. But yeah, it's good to be back. And after a little bit of a break, I had to rewatch the Lions game a couple times, because the first time I tried to rewatch it, it was after New Orleans, a night on the town, so I was a little too drunk to remember what I was watching. I had to rewatch it again the next day, and all I could remember is that 4 minutes left. We had that game. We're up by 12. The game was in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow we still managed to lose it.
Yeah, man.
I think we have to learn how to win. I think that's what the issue is now. We're at a place where we're getting some type of momentum, but we haven't learned how to finish. And be it the coaches, be it the players, I think they all need to learn how to win.
Yeah, I think it becomes like almost like a monkey on your back, wouldn't it? Because I think I saw a Swifty video earlier that said we've had 12 possessions in the last quarter with a chance to tie or go ahead, and we've got 0 points from those 12 possessions, 0.
Yeah.
And I think that weighs on them a lot. I do think it's in the mind. It's got to be, hasn't it? It can't.
Oh yeah.
Once they know you can do it, once you know you can do it, then it's easier. But it's that getting that
Exactly.
first time, first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was saying to myself. I think I said it out loud actually when I was re-listening to the show that you guys did last Sunday night. By the way, great job, PJ, Walt, Foster, just pulling a show out of your arses.
Boss. Yeah.
I mean, I was going on to do something on YouTube, and I see, wait, Bears Country Podcast is live right now. What?
What's this?
And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So kudos to you for doing that. I re-listened to it when I was working because I had to work a couple days last week, and I said out loud the same thing. I'm like, this team just doesn't know how to win.
Right.
And it's in their mind that they know the shoe is going to drop, and they're going to eventually, this game is going to get away from them. And that's why, Walt was saying today, what's his name from the Panthers got fired, Reich.
Right.
Yeah. Fired today.
And Josh McCown and Deuce Staley.
Yeah.
And
if we're actually building towards something, because as Lance Briggs put it, we played 56 minutes of good football. We just got to work on that last 4 minutes now.
Yeah.
Whereas before we played a quarter, then we got to a half, then we got to 3 quarters. Now we're at 3 quarters and 12 minutes worth of or 11 minutes worth of good football. If we can get it all the way, I think we'll be there. But I see the progress.
Yeah, definitely progress, and that's what's probably what hurts the most about last weekend is that we played so well. Who I think it's because we expected to lose. If we had just been battered the whole game and it was close and that was the score at the end, it would have been that would have been okay. But the fact that we were 2 scores ahead with 4 minutes to go and we managed to lose somehow, that's just I was at one point I was dancing around the room and we were just taking it to them. It was so good. That's the best football we've seen from them against a team like Detroit, who have been pretty good, and we were ramming the ball down their throats. It was like this game is in the bag, and that's why it was such a massive come down from that. Yeah, like I say, if we'd have been losing all the way through, we wouldn't have been in such a bad place. But to have the game in our grasp and then just to let them march down the field with that damn soft zone that drives me fucking crazy.
I avoided the entire day because we were in New Orleans, just walking around Bourbon Street and just the French Quarter in general. And I put my phone on Do Not Disturb because you guys were talking about the game, PJ. I'm like, oh crap! In our text, I'm like, I'm going.
Going dark.
Yeah, I'm going dark. Yeah, and then Chris Watts was like, "Oh, send me some pictures from Bourbon Street." So he said that like a couple days before. So I'm like, "Oh, here's some pictures from Bourbon Street," and I go to send them to him, and I see, "Oh, that sucks that whatever he said about the loss," and I was like, "God." Of all people, it took you from 5,000 miles away to tell me that we lost this fucking game. So here I am watching it, and we have 4 minutes to go. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
We lost this game?
You thought you were being pranked. It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, good one. Got you. Yeah.
It felt like a prank, yeah. And then I'm watching it happen, and I'm just like, I mean, there is no way in hell that they are going to retain. I mean, there's just no way they're going to retain this coaching staff, right?
I disagree.
Oh, EJ, please.
I disagree. I think if you look at it from their point of view, last year was a total teardown. if Eberflus somehow gets us to like 5 or 6 wins, he's basically doubled the win production from last year. So anybody with doubling the win production, how do you get rid of them? Because you're still not all the way there yet, because we're still going to say we're in the middle of a rebuild.
Yeah, true.
But he still managed to get double the win production. So it'll be hard.
Go ahead.
I just think it'll be hard for him to get rid of him, because I think Poles really likes him.
I think he does actually. I think they do have a good relationship. But I think the thing that I would add to that is, yes, he's doubled his production, but look at the talent they've got on the team now compared to last year. They've added so much talent, and I know some of it's early, but I think that the defensive backs, Brisker and Gordon, are producing. Wright is he can be there for 10 years on right tackle. He's added, and DJ Moore, obviously, we've finally got a number one receiver. So there's so much more talent. I think we should have done better. I get what you're saying, and I had a crazy thought just a few days ago about would they offer, as the defense has improved, because that's made a big difference to our results and our performance at the games the last few weeks. Would they move him to defensive coordinator, as we don't have one? If they got a coach that will not let him continue with the soft zone. I mean, it's a demotion. I don't know. It's continuity. But I think the problem we've had, and I think I mentioned it in a chat a while ago, is that we've been allowing players to learn their trade, with a young team. So we've got, a really young quarterback and all these players we've replaced, while we've got coaches that are learning their jobs at the same time. Now, we know it can work, but I think you're making it more difficult for yourself. It's less likely to work if you've got new guys on both sides. So Agreed. This is kind of why I'm sort of in favour of, clearing out the coaching staff, and I don't know. It's not related to the cap, is it? The coaches don't count to the cap. That's just players. Is that right?
As far as the cap?
Yeah.
It's only players.
We just suck up, eat that cost, and get. And again, I don't follow enough football like you guys, especially with college and stuff. But we just need experienced coaches and when in the interview process, you get guys and you want to hear what their plan is for Fields, because you can build a team around him. You still, I think we saw, and I love Bajan. His attitude's great. He's got some talent on him. I think he's going to do a good job. But I think when Justin came back last week, I think that kind of killed that conversation. It's like, he's our number one. You can build a team around him. Yes, he's not perfect. He's still learning. But then, firstly, Jesus Christ, what Nagy did to him, playing in that team was just terrible for his first year.
Let me just say, Jason, you are spot on. I mean, seriously, man, you are spot on, because so many people are quick to want to say, get rid of Justin. But the reality is, like you said, he's not perfect. He still has some growing to do. I mean, and that's the thing. We can't look at him or any player as a finished product right now, especially when he only got 3 years in. So he still has some growing to do. But I have seen some improvement.
We have seen flashes, exactly. Yeah, and we know what he can do. And he has got such unique qualities that you can build a team around him. It doesn't matter if he's not Tom Brady. He's not going to, throw bombs. But we know he's got a good arm. But I think with his skills, his legs, teams are petrified of that. So they've either got to spy him and take a guy out of the backfield, or they're going to have to let him run. And I'm quite happy. I know people don't like him running, and you've got to have him protecting himself. But if they know that if they're just going to sit, and he'll pick up 8 yards, done. And then now we're on 2nd and 2. So you can use that, and I think a smart coach would do that. And that's what I worry about, is that we're going to not use him, and then he'll go somewhere else, and he'll do really well, because you've got to just surround him with some talent, use him properly, and we've seen flashes of it. And when he had 3 runs of 50+ yard touchdowns, and he's the first quarterback to do that in their entire career. And he did it over a span of like 4 or 5 games. Mm-hmm. So don't tell me you can't use that boy. You can't use that man in that team and make a success of it. So
there's two things I want to go back to the coaching thing real quick, which is I just want to add to that it petrifies me to think that they would, like you were saying, PJ, that they would be kind of willing to put things aside and go, okay, we know that we're rebuilding here, and you've done an exceptional job as a head coach in your second season now running the defense, although it is the defense that lost several games for us and put Justin in a position to be Superman, and then therefore he wasn't Superman, so the fan base turned on him.
Right.
And then that petrifies me. I don't, in one sense I buy into that with you. On the other sense, I just think, well, on the sense that I buy into you on that, I think that the culture isn't, it doesn't seem like they've turned on him, right? They're still playing hard for him. So I think that goes to that. But at the other, I mean, and the other thing is too, you want to give him some continuity as the coaching staff to build, and you don't want to just give up too quickly and make a mistake. Let them work into it. It's a job that he's never had. Give him a few years. Don't just pull the plug right away. On the other hand, I've only said it a million times. We have Harbaugh sitting here in a golden basket waiting for us.
Yeah.
And to me, it's Harbaugh or bust if you're going to fire this coaching staff, because you can go out and get a Ben Johnson from the Lions or blah 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 blah, but he's kind of a one-hit wonder himself. So now you're taking another chance on someone that's a little more has a little more than Nagy had coming in as the head coach, right? And then you build yourself up from there. You could pick from the Rams or whoever else,
right?
So I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see what plays out in these next few games. If he does get 3 more wins, perhaps. I don't know. And I'm not sure. We'll have to see how I feel then, because we still have this thing has to play out, right?
Well, a lot of the season left, yeah, for sure.
And to the Justin Fields thing, as soon as he came in this game, I've been PJ. We've been not having arguments, but I've been talking about how much I loved the way Bajan got rid of the ball, his footwork, his timing. They all kind of worked together, and we were all kind of talking about how Justin's wasn't coming together up until that point, when he was injured. He comes out this game, and he flat out balled out, in my opinion. The ball was coming out faster. He was, even his short game passing was much better than the first, before he was injured.
Right.
I think he did make the case to remain our starter. I do. Yeah. And I was talking to my wife about this on the 10-hour drive home that should have been 6.5. Literally drove like 30 miles an hour all the way through Alabama to get back. It was ridiculous. Jeez. So I was watching, wasn't watching because I was driving, but I had on the Houston game, the Houston
Texans.
The Texans. Who are they playing?
Oh, yesterday?
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
I had that game on while I was driving, listening. And, everyone was talking about, you look at 570, what did he have? 570 yards passing and 5 touchdowns or something in one game this year. These are the things that we were expecting. Here's the other thing. That's a rookie head coach that came in out of nowhere, and he got the second pick in the draft, took the better of the 2 quarterbacks. His coaching staff is, at that point, they were 6-4 in that game. And CJ Stroud has been putting himself in realistic MVP conversation. And these are the things that our fan base has been wanting to see from Justin from the day that we drafted him, because we have always thought this was possible. And somehow here we are just in the mud, digging another hole with our tires, just getting deeper and deeper in it, trying to figure out what's going on here. Who's the guy? Is this coaching staff correct? Does the coaching staff, are they the reason why we can't get this out of Justin at this point, when his successor in college is doing better than he has so far, numbers wise, as a passer? So I'm just saying that these are why you're seeing these arguments from the fan base. And how it's it's become so divided because we have never had a quarterback. We've always been wanting a quarterback. Justin comes in. We all think. I mean, shit. I talked about him being the MVP. Plenty of times myself. I had an 11-6 record. Well, we did as a 5-man team come up with 11-6. We all thought that Justin was going to be more like CJ Stroud this year, and CJ is a rookie doing what we were expecting from Justin by now in year 3. It sucks that we have to go through this, but I think that if we just hold tight, he is our quarterback. I'm done.
I would say I have a couple of feelings about Justin Fields. One, I think we do not have the correct offensive coaches around him right now.
Right. That's what it kept coming down to with me talking to my wife about this.
And then I think the way Getsy calls his game plans is kind of at times weird to me. I don't want to call him stupid, but I want to say it's weird to throw these 1-yard screen passes and to the left or to the right. Those things are kind of idiotic to me. But the real issue is, I think if we have a team that built on the run, being Foreman or Herbert, Fields going to have limited pass plays to be able to show or produce those numbers that Stroud is producing. So I think to expect games of 300 yards, 400 yards out of Fields is kind of unrealistic just based upon how we go about calling our game. I mean, because even when we had 40 minutes of possession last week, he only threw the ball 20 something times, something like that. So it's like you're not going to get that mass production like you're getting out of Stroud. And then honestly, this year, outside of Moore, I really haven't seen anything out of the receivers. I've seen some out of Kmet, but it seemed like Mooney has taken a step back with his relationship with Fields, where it seemed like Bagent had more of a relationship with Mooney than what Fields has. So we need another type of receiver or something that Fields can then throw to.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, Bagent spread it around more, didn't he? I know there was he definitely used a lot of the more receivers, didn't he? He threw it around a lot more.
Yeah, he was throwing it different ones, but he wasn't throwing it too far down the field, though.
Yeah.
True.
No.
Right. He was throwing to more receivers, not as deep down the field. You saw the noticeable difference in the arm. I mean, as soon as Justin came in, you're, oh, jeez. That touchdown pass to DJ Moore was dime.
Oh, man. Yeah. Something. So we know what he can do.
Yeah.
And I think also, and I totally agree, PJ. He's not going to get the numbers because we're a run-heavy offense, which is fine. If that's our identity, and with the 3 backs we've got, go for it. Those 3 and Justin, holy moly. That is a running offense, which we know. We won, top 3, aren't we? It's the top 3, 4 in the league.
Yeah.
In rushing offense. So use it. And then, because then you've got the ability to get him to use his arm when it's appropriate, but to keep the defense honest, But what annoyed me the most about it is that we had this, we saw what he did last year, and I think he would have broken Lamar Jackson's record if he was fit for those last 2 games for sure. But what we didn't expect was they said you just got to me. You got to build on what he's good at. So yes, we want to develop his passing game, but don't just stop doing what he. And this is what he seemed to be to me, was they stopped doing what he was good at in the name of trying to get him to be a passer. So you didn't need to do that. And that's why I think that's where the coaching is to blame, is that you don't throw away the good stuff and then try and make him be this. You just add to it. Just add to it. You didn't need to do that. It's just, that's where it seems wrong to me.
It's more like they were trying to make him Aaron Rodgers because he is a passer. He wants that deep ball, man. He
can throw the ball. Oh, yeah, for sure. We saw it now. Like I said, the difference when we saw, and I'm kind of not glad, but it's, when we saw it happen that, he was out for a while and Bagent came in, and like I say, we love what he did. His attitude's great. And from where where he's come from, and I really rate Bagent. But then you saw the difference when Justin came back. So, for sure, that's to me, that's killed that conversation entirely. He's a great backup, and he's got a good future. I think Bagent. He will. I can see him being a starter somewhere at some point. We need to
It's not like he's been Bajent has been doing CrossFit for how long? I mean, his core is strong. I'm not sure how much more you can get out of his arm strength. So,
right.
I mean, everything is built up as much as it's going to be. I think at this point, it's so. I think he is what he is. It was interesting to see him come out and quell some of the fan base that was, wanting to see what he could do.
We needed to see it, didn't we? We did. You're right. You said, you said before, you said early in the season, Shorty, that we need to know what we've got, because if Justin isn't the guy, but I think he is. I do believe he is. We've just got to make the scheme fit him. This is what good coaches do. They see what they've got and they deploy them to the best of their ability. Instead of trying to squeeze them into the box that they want the team to be, you have to look at the skills you've got in your players and use them. And because he can take teams apart. Like PJ said, we didn't throw a lot of passes last weekend, but he got 104 yards on the ground. So that's a weapon. So use it, for God's sake. Fucking use it. It's just don't try and force it in the pocket.
I think the thing is that we're not mentioning so far is the fact that last week was the first week that our O-line was healthy.
Oh,
that made a big difference, because I'm telling you, Jenkins, he is on his way to be an All-Pro.
Oh, for sure.
He damn well better be.
And then
I love watching him. I love watching Tev, man.
Playing with that one arm, he's still manhandling guys. And he had that bad play on the last play of the game.
Not run over.
Wright, I'm telling you, Wright and Jenkins, I am thoroughly impressed with those guys. So we're definitely on the right track with that. So I expect, that's what I say. I expect Fields, to keep on progressing as that line keep getting better. He'll get better. Because he's, to Jason's point, he's not a finished product yet. He's still learning, but with time to throw, we'll see more out of him.
Yeah, definitely. I agree entirely. And that's a really important point, actually, PJ, is the fact that our O-line hadn't played a single snap together. Our starting five hadn't played a single snap. And we know the game's won and lost in the trenches. That's just, you've got to give your QB time, because that's the half of, Fields has spent half of his career running for his life, hasn't he?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it started with day one.
Yeah, exactly. I know. So, especially when, we're against the Browns and they've already had like 9 sacks and fucking Nagy's putting him in an empty set. It's like, what, holy smoke. What are you trying to do? With that line we had, it's just, so I'm really excited about what we can do with this. If we can keep these guys healthy, we need to improve the interior of the line, because obviously, Patrick and Whitehair are not the answer. So, but we've got the build, the bones of a fucking brilliant offensive line there for sure. With Wright, I still think Jones is the guy. I don't like this sort of talk about getting the left tackle. That is not an urgent need for us. He's still performing pretty well. He needs to clean the penalties up. But then, we've been saying that all season. But if let's say they have pick 1 and 4, all right, and let's just say they go Marvin Harrison Jr. at 1, and at 4 the top tackle, what is it? The dude from Penn State?
Yeah.
Is sitting there. Don't you just take him and don't look back, and you make Jones the swing tackle?
Yeah.
In the ideal world, depending on what other needs you have, because we still need edge rushers, we still need a safety. So it depends on how we can go about addressing the other needs. I know there's no center worth taking at number 4, but we do need a center. So do you trade back number 4, get a later first round draft pick as well as a second, grab your center in the second? So there's things you can do with that if you got that 4th overall pick. But
and there's a QB sitting there.
Huh?
And there's a QB sitting there.
Yeah, to me, I don't see the need of taking a QB, because if we're going with Fields, you taking a quarterback, he's just going to be sitting. So we got to find another starter somewhere with another first round draft pick. Find a starter. Don't find a guy who's just going to be sitting there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. And I agree. You trade down to get the guy you need at the most appropriate point and boost your capital that anyway. And then the other point I wanted to make about it is we can't keep trying to rebuild forever. At some point, we've actually got to sort of compete. So, and I don't think we can keep doing that because you can't keep those guys together at the same time. We've got the core of a young team, and I really love what Poles is doing. I think he's building a great team here. Dude.
Yeah, Poles isn't doing it. In my opinion, I mean, he's had some hiccups, like any rookie.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, every GM will.
Yeah, if you're hitting 6, 7 out of 10 for the players, I think you're doing pretty well. Because everyone, it's all a risk. So I like what he's doing. I like what he's building. We have to sort of. I think I agree with PJ. We're trying to trade down so we can pick the needs that we have at the right point. So you're not going to pick a center at number 4 or 5. You're gonna see who wants to trade up with you, and you can hope that you build it and play it so that you're going to pick in the right spot. And I think Poles is pretty smart at that.
Yeah. To Swifty's point,
I wanted to address this. Swifty's saying no. I take Marv Harrison Jr. at 1 and a defensive end with the 2nd.
Now, see. I don't know if Jared Verse is worth number 4.
That's what I wanted. That's why I wanted. That's why I've been holding this up. I wanted to ask him. Do you think he's worth 4 there, Swifty?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm a fan of Jared Verse too. I want us to get him, but I just don't know if I want to get him at 4. If I can get him at 15, fine. Trade down, get him at 15, great. But I don't know if he's worth 4 because I haven't been hearing no talk about it. I would concede to Swifty though because he's probably doing more research on Jared Verse than I have though.
Yeah, I don't see any. I think I mentioned in the chat on the previous show that I don't see any college football, so I kind of rely on the stuff I get from you guys and from Swifty and from a little bit of ESPN. I don't have any knowledge about who's coming out of the draft. Although I think I mentioned to you in our first chat shortly, didn't I, that last year, thanks Swifty, my man. I actually stayed up and watched the draft in bed with my phone. Like my girlfriend's going, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like your headphones on, like 3 a.m. on my phone, like that, going, "Oh man, we've picked right." Yeah, I am that guy. And it's because of Swifty's breakdowns, and I start to learn a bit more about it. But I just don't, especially now when this NFL season's in full swing. I don't see any college football.
You also told me that you found this channel because of Swifty. So thank you, Swifty.
Yeah. I did, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. After that kind of rubbish with that other channel that was taking the piss out of him.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Well,
no to them.
Well, I know that New England seems to be in full tank mode. So,
you were saying this earlier.
Whether or not we stay at 4, I don't know because we still got 6 games to go, and I don't see New England trying to win another game. They look like they're just trying to tank for real.
Hey, Swifty.
So if our position changed from 4 to like 7, then there is a different conversation. To Swifty's point, because he was saying that we probably get between 7 and 13. So we are dropping. Then we probably would have to go get Verse as opposed to trying to trade back. But we definitely need. I mean, we have so many needs to be addressed that there's things. But someone also brought up the point. The kid from South Carolina, the wide receiver. I forget his Leggett.
Is it Xavier Leggett? Is it
that
one?
Yeah, I hear he's pretty decent too as a receiver. 6'3", 227, possibly going to run a 4.3. That's pretty impressive.
40. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there you go. Xavier Leggett. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah, but compared to Marvin Harrison Jr., I mean,
I'm just saying if it's not the end of the world if we miss out.
Oh, if we miss out on him, yeah.
I mean, I prefer Marvin Harrison Jr.
Look, to what you're saying, if New England gets that first pick and all of a sudden the Panthers have 3, and then somebody takes Harrison at 2 or something, and
that's the danger. Yeah, for sure. We need to. I'd be happier from seeing what I've seen again, like limited, but I think you take Marvin Harrison at 1, don't you? You just take him at number 1.
Oh yeah,
unless you can trade with number 2, if it's going to be whoever that might be. But like you say, the Patriots are tanking, aren't they? So
oh yeah,
you can ensure that the person the team you're trading with is not taking Marvin Harrison. They're going for a quarterback.
Except if it's Giants, because they've committed to Dan Jones, haven't they? So you can't if it's them, they're going to take Marvin Harrison, aren't they, for sure? So you
would think
with them.
And I don't know if you can do this in a trade scenario or not, but if you can somehow in the trade say, hey, I can give you this trade, but you can't take X player. I don't know if you can do that.
Right. They're not going to, they can.
I think it's a legally binding phone call, is it? I think.
You're right. There's not, you can't take them to court over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just make it part of the trade deal. Say, hey, you can trade deal, you can have this pick, but you can't take X player. But I think we do need a tall receiver. Swifty naming out these other receivers. I don't know how tall they are. I think we need a 6'2" or above another receiver to go along with DJ Moore. I don't want to see another short guy. I'd rather go with a tall guy.
Jason, for being your first time on the show, you haven't actually officially been interrogated by PJ yet. What's going on?
That's because it's a pregame.
Oh,
it's a pregame. We ain't going to have much time.
I know. I would like you to quickly summarize, and by summarize, I mean unlike Chris Watts' story. I've heard it 18 times. Brilliant. When all my family asked him, I was like, "Oh, here
we go again."
All right. Well,
what time is it?
I'll be back. I'm gonna go take a shit.
All right, Jason. I got a question.
How did you? Yeah, go ahead, PJ.
All right, Jason. How did you come about becoming a Bears
fan? One word: sweetness.
85 Bears. Same thing.
Yeah. It was. I just discovered it. It was. This is the early 80s. It was 84. I first got into football. We used to get a paper, like a weekly newspaper called First Down, which basically was the American football paper that we used to get here. This is the days before the internet or cable and satellite TV. And there was I think it was on Channel 4 on a Saturday morning. There was a highlights program, and I caught it one morning. I was like, "This is cool. What the fuck is this?" So I just I got into it, and of course, this is 84, and Walter Payton's there, and I'm like, this guy's a magician. Who are these guys? The Chicago Bears. So I just started following. And then obviously we lost to the 49ers, as we just seem to do every year in the fucking 80s in the playoffs. And then, the following year, man, the 85 Bears, that's like, man, what a team. I was watching on the NFL Game Pass earlier. I just started watching another, one of the films on that team and just.
So were you about 10 years old too or something?
I was 14. So I managed to sneak up to my parents' room to watch the first half of the Super Bowl because I was like at school in the morning. And of course it was middle of the night. I managed to sneak up I'm pretty sure I snuck into their room and I was watching the first half and I got caught and I got sent to bed. So I saw the first half. And of course this is, pre-internet days. I couldn't just go on YouTube and watch the highlights the following morning. So I had to try and find it. I used to cycle into town after my paper round and I go to the video store and I managed to find if there was a few in the sort of special section of NFL films, and I managed to find one of those that had Dick Butkus on it. It was like one of the biggest sort of the big hitters of the league kind of thing with Deacon Jones and some of those guys. And I was like, oh man, this is the Bears. That's what I love. It's like if you love the Bears, you love like smash mouth defensive football and running.
Absolutely.
And that was when I loved, like, this is, I love this. This is brilliant. And that was when I got into it.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So it's safe to say that Walter Payton's your favorite player of all time.
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, I think so, for sure. Because it's the one I saw, it's the one that got me into it. And it was the tail end of his career, wasn't it? So,
yes.
But I read about it. Like I said, I used to get this First Down paper every week and you read and you think, oh, man. And then, of course, the defense turned up, and that was just like, these guys are pretty cool.
I remember us playing on the playground in like 4th and 5th and 6th grade. We always played football on the playground at recess, and everyone was always going, Peyton. Around someone,
that was the shirt I had. I bought myself a game shirt, and it was 34, obviously.
That's so amazing. I mean, it's the same way that Chris Watts became a fan too, because that team just kind of took everyone. Well, I mean, you became a fan in '84, which was before they really took the world by storm, but they were in the playoffs that year. They went to the championship game, lost to the Niners. But I mean, just the fact that it was the Bears, And they were really what was the highlight. They were like the team that they were showing over there the most, because they started the NFL.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
That's just so cool, man.
I did have a break though, to be fair, because then I
So did
moved
Chris
away.
Watts.
Yeah. But for like 25 years, I didn't even know we'd gone to another Super Bowl. How bad is that? I'm a bit of a sort of. I've just joined again, like sort of 5-6 years ago now. After I came back home down to South in England, and I just sort of got because it went on to sort of pay-per-view TV. I went to Sky. They bought the rights, so it couldn't see it on free TV anymore. And when I was working, it was like everyone was obsessed with soccer. So we just I got into that, and it was like soccer and rugby and cricket and stuff. And
I love soccer too, PJ. He doesn't call it. This is football.
Right.
I call it soccer because it annoys people in England who call it football because it does. So I used to love football. Yeah, I used to love soccer. I had a season ticket for our local team. Me and my old man used to go, and I loved it. I used to go home and away all the time, and then I suddenly realised this game is shit. It's like they're throwing themselves on the floor. It's just ruined. I thought, what? I just used to drive me crazy. So then, like I say, I moved back to the family home for a while, divorce and whatever. And then my mum got sick, and we sort of come back to look after her and stuff. And then because the old man still had the Sky Sports, he had the cable and the satellite TV, and I started like, hey, we're going to get back into the NFL. And then it's like, yeah, how are the Bears doing? And then, of course, it was 2017, 2018. I was like, oh, yeah, these guys are good again. Defense, this is my Bears. That's what I remember.
Matt Nagy got you back into this shit.
Man,
I just said
Nagy, thanks for that. Yeah,
I just said it.
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
Yeah, don't.
I have to get to the chat here really quick because Deborah Wally says, where did it go? She says, I lost it. Where'd it go? Did somebody delete it? I'm just kidding.
Not me.
Deborah Wally said, how about Marvin Harrison for here we go. How about Marvin Harrison Jr. for wide receiver? This is my Auntie Debbie, who Chris Watts and I stayed at her house. And I'm going to tell you this right now. She has no fucking clue who Marvin Harrison Jr. is. So somebody is sitting there in her house. Oh, probably not him.
Uh-oh.
Say something about Marvin Harrison. You look smart.
Man.
I'm just surprised our internet is working well enough to actually watch this. They're out in the boonies. But let's. That's an excellent story, Jason. I mean, it's kind of what I expected. It's similar to how everyone I think out there became a fan of any team in the NFL, especially the Bears. Mm-hmm. Let's move on to this upcoming game tonight. And I want to know, like, your thoughts, your worries, your look for myself. The last time, so I've been going. I have a collection of like old school ass jerseys. This is my Rashaan Salam one from back in the '90s, and I tried to wear a Curtis Conway one. They didn't win. I've gone through all my jerseys, so I pulled the Rashaan out, and this is when we beat the Panthers.
Ain't like we had that many wins.
Yeah, so I'm going with my Rashaan Salam old school ass jersey tonight because it's the only jersey that has given me a win recently, and I'm thinking that we are actually going to build on last week because we should have won, and I'm hoping that the coaching staff does not revert to some I'm smarter than you game plan and just goes with what works. In fact, I kind of wanted to say this earlier, and we don't have to make a subject out of this, but I wish they just would have kept Tevin Jenkins on the right side because him and together was balling, man. They were that's a Hall of Fame combo next to each other. Yeah. Side note. So
yeah,
I wish they would have done that, but I do feel like this is going to be a win tonight. Simply because I don't know how long Josh Dobbs is going to continue to work magic for them. I know they lost last week, but we got to get this game right, guys.
Yeah, we have to. I think it's Daniil Hunter's the danger, isn't he? That's the thing. He's having a great season, and it's their pass offense against our pass defenses. I think that's the key, as well as the usual penalties and turnovers are quite similar. It's stats wise, we're actually quite similar in a lot of regards. We're not too far apart in terms of the sort of yardage and points we're allowing per game. But this is that O line, which we saw what it can do last week. I think that's the key. If we can keep a lid on him, which, to be fair, last week Aiden Hutchinson didn't have much of a say until that last bloody safety.
Exactly.
We know how to do it, and that's as long as the coaches have remembered that the Vikings blitz. We've seen it, we know it, everyone knows it. So just game plan for the opposition. Just please.
I think I was listening to Coach T the other day, and he commented on when we went to that empty set against Minnesota the first game, how Blasting was lined up out wide. So that's where Fields looked at, and knowing that Blasting cannot outrun the cornerback was kind of sitting on that pass, waiting for Justin to pass it. That's why Justin did not pass it. According to what Justin said in his presser, he didn't throw it. He wanted to throw it because he knew the cornerback was sitting on it. So therefore, that's why he was able to take that sack. So listening to that, I'm like, you know what? That's pretty intelligent. I mean, we fault him for taking the sack, but I would rather him take the sack than to get a pick six.
That's a pick six there for sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If he gets that ball wrong.
So I just hope that we take the approach of trying to run against the blitz, because you don't have to necessarily try to when they go an empty set, only thing you need your running back to do is break one tackle perhaps, and he got a clear sailing because they have nobody back there. So let's not be pass happy and trying to out throw the blitz. Just run to beat the blitz.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to. It's like they went back to the Green Bay game, the first game of the season, the last time they played the Vikings when he got injured.
Yeah,
and that game was pathetic. That game enraged. That was Chris Watt's first game. Luckily, he got to see a win against the Raiders, but that was his first game ever, and he was just. Remember how pissed off he was that night when we had that show with Nick Brody from Just Another Year? Man, he was upset. So, instead of trying to just go short passing game the entire time, which was, like a horizontal passing game like they did against the Packers, just run the ball more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your running game is healthy now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's like number 3 in the league, isn't it? We are, running attack. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Running offense.
I expect, our running game to keep going, hopefully, and hopefully, that'll be one of the keys we take advantage of.
They have got a pretty good run D, though. I think they're 7th ranked in the league and yards per game. So they're no pushover, but we can run the ball. We know we can run the ball.
Oh yeah,
and
especially behind.
Well, when we just need to use him because with the bootlegs or the outside plays, just get them moving. So if they're coming after him,
let's go for some T formation tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
You see the Bills pulled out the fucking T formation the other night, dude.
But you notice that was the first game in a long time that I actually seen Bills running the ball, and that's probably why they was in the game with the Eagles, because when they had that last offensive coordinator, all he was doing is passing the ball, and now I'm noticing that even the running back they had previously, Singletary, I think his name is, he's in Houston running the ball pretty well there, where he just didn't get used in Buffalo. So passing matters.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
I mean, running the ball matters.
That's what I thought you meant to say.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that. I'm trying to type this, but I'm glad to see that Terrell Smith has recovered from mono, because that's serious, man.
Hopefully he's fully fit. That's
we'll see how he does.
In my opinion, that kind of derailed Sam Darnold's career. I think it helped to derail his career anyway.
And Leatherwood last year had it for us.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
right.
Leatherwood, another one. Yes.
He had lost 25 pounds, I believe. So I'm curious to see how Terrell Smith responds this week, being in the starting lineup after having mono.
Well, Jalen Jones will be in there as well, won't he? Jalen Jones is actually. I've been quite impressed with him. Actually, he's played some plays. Jalen Jones.
Yes.
Yes. So he's going to get a chance tonight for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Cliff saying, "Stop kissing those dirty girls." I was talking to my wife about this. I'm like, how do you get mono? And I guess it's from like exchanging fluids, right? Like
Now,
kissing.
see, when I was in high school, way back when, I remember that being a kissing disease. So
Yeah.
So I don't know how these guys getting it today. I have
Didn't
no idea.
Rumpelstiltskin have mono though?
You asking me that?
Yeah, the old story about Rumpelstiltskin. He like went to sleep and he slept for like, I don't know, however many months or years. He was like in a coma forever because he had mono.
Wow, that took a turn. That conversation.
Don't quote me on this.
Yeah, wow.
I'm just an idiot doing a podcast. I don't know what I'm talking about. I could be right. I could be wrong. It's just something I remembered as being possibly fact.
It's a good story. Let's go with that. That's fine.
Yeah, good
There you
story.
go.
Yeah.
Let's say we got guys in chat here. Who sits down with the head coach and coordinators after a game to critique things like going into the prevent too early or sticking with them when it's badly ineffective? Polls? No. Does Polls do that? Polls just fires the guy that does that, right?
The coaches, won't it? Surely the coaches, yeah. Surely the Eberflus leads on that kind of stuff. So, yeah. That's just, you need to keep being aggressive. That's what got us in that position. So just to take your foot off their throat, as it were, just that's what cost us. Just we'd had the game won by taking it to them, and then we just go, oh, well, let's just not try and lose this. But yeah,
I'm going to give you guys some full disclosure here. I'm not going to be terribly upset if we lose, because at this point, I'm looking at draft position.
Right
now, I'm not saying for us to go in full tank mode. I'm just saying I'm not going to be terribly upset if we lose, because I'm looking at it like, you know what? Okay, that could probably get us another couple of good players.
Every time we lose, I think the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm no longer. I mean, now if it was the beginning of the year, I was upset. But now, if we lose, so like, okay.
That's what we tell ourselves after the game, isn't it? To make us feel a little bit better, is like because you turn up, you kick off, you want to win. We lose, and you go, well, our draft position's better. It's trying to help ourselves out here.
It's like last week. It's like last week. We're like, oh well, Justin played a great game tonight. He didn't throw the yard, but he played a good game. It was a noticeable difference over the Tyson Bagent talk, Yeah. And then we're like, okay, well, we lost. That's kind of why I came away from that game too. Like, okay, cool. We'll take the draft position at this point.
Yeah. We lost with 4 turnovers.
As long as we don't fuck up the next head coach to get him right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I still want to see him be able to grow.
Yeah.
Being Fields, I want to see some improvement.
Yeah. And that's what we're looking for. I think that's what we're all looking for, isn't it? For the remainder of the season, is just Fields to develop into what we know he can be.
Exactly.
The problem is he's got to do it despite our coaches. So, yeah, that's the issue. Is how he can develop within this system if they're not gonna use his strengths and help him in the best way possible.
1,000%.
Yeah.
We got Vernon Roseman here, a friend of the podcast who's been on several times, saying, evening, gentlemen. Vernon, we are about to sign off here to get ready to watch the game. But look, we have Jason from the UK. We got another UK guy here. Vern, pretty cool.
We're everywhere.
Yes.
Just to let you guys know, we will be doing a post game after this with the press conference. If you guys want to watch the press conference with us and hang out in all of its glory or its misery, and
we'll be starting that up about 5 minutes after the game is ended. We'll be starting that podcast. Am I correct, Shorty?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what time. You never know when the game is going to end. So I usually try to set it for like what it would be. 11:30 Eastern time or 10:30 your time ish.
Yeah, because it's normally like about 3 hours. I'll give it 3 hours after the game starts.
Yeah. So if it starts at 8:15 like tonight, I would think set the show for 11:15 or 11:20 or 11:30. What do you think?
Let's do it 11:30.
Okay.
Or 10:30 Central for you guys in the Midwest like me.
Yes, sir.
10:30 Central Time. And Jason, I don't know what time that is for you over there.
But if you want to hop in and gloat or rant with us for just a few minutes before you go to bed, you're welcome to do that. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, nice one. I'll do that. Yeah, yeah. Who knows? It depends what I've been drinking and how the game went, I guess.
Well, I'll send you a link, and you're welcome to use it if you would like. How about that?
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, man.
Guys, let's get a quick score prediction from you two. I'll go last.
I'm no good at these.
Go ahead, Jason.
Oh, you put me on the spot now. I didn't even think about that. I've done my prep. Okay, I'm going to go for 28-17 Bears.
28-17 Bears. What do you guys say in chat? What's the score tonight?
I say 27-21 Bears.
28-17, 27-21. Cliff Victoria is saying Bears 31, Vikings 24. That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
I think the Bears can score 28.
Doug Van Dorn says
DVD with a
35-17 Bears.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be back on if that happens, I'll tell you.
I am kind of worried about the blitzing, so I think I'm going to go. I just said I think we can score some points tonight, but I'm going to retract tonight. I think that I'm going to go lower. I'm going to go like 17-14 Bears.
Oh.
Nice score.
Okay.
It'll be by a Cairo Santos field goal. How about that?
STC says 30-20 Bears.
I love it. You guys are all getting high scores here. 27, 28, 30, 31. Love it. I'm the one going low. 17, 14.
Yeah. Cliff Victoria says, Fields is better than Dobbs. So,
well, yeah. But the defense he's not playing Dobbs. Dobbs isn't rushing him.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens tonight. It'll be a fun game. Guys, we'll see you here at 10:30 Central, 11:30 p.m. Eastern time for the post game.
UK.
And 5:30 in the morning for the UK. What time will it be? That would be
if it's
4:30, right?
Yeah. If it's 1:15, 3 hours, 4:30 a.m. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Dedication, man. Dedication. I like it. I love it.
Insanity, PJ.
Yeah. If you're still up, man, just hop in.
I will. Yeah, nice one.
Great talking to you, Jason. Thanks for joining us. It's great to put the face to the voice to the name and everything else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great to chat to you guys. Thanks for having me on.
And let's end this show on a 1, 2, 3 Bears. Ready? 1, 2, 3 Bears.